were just discussing defense stocks, right? So let's go back to that big story where the huge headline is that the Defense Acquisition Council yesterday approved a procurement, projects and sort of procurement worth 1.45 lakh crore rupees. That's the extent of orders that will be out. We have Atim Kabra, Director of Business Development and Strategy at Astra Microwave Products, to talk about the opportunity ahead. Of course, Astra is a major player when it comes to electronic warfare, aerial radars, etc. Mr. Kabra, good to have you on. So first up, straight question. In terms of all the announcements yesterday, were there projects that you cater to as well, segments that you cater to? I'm not sure if specifically there were announcements on the radar side. Tell us what's the opportunity for you from what was announced yesterday?
Hi, good morning. The projects which were announced yesterday, amounting to 1.445 lakh crores, were 99% by Indian and IDDM. But mainly, I think the naval sector plays were the biggest beneficiaries out here. There has been a long-standing project which has been going on the ready combat vehicles, and I think that is also something which saw light of the day. Nothing, as you rightly pointed out, nothing much for Astra Microwave as such over there, or the radar or the electronics guys out there in this particular order which has been released.
Right. Mr. Kabra, hi, morning. Prashant here. Could you tell us, between forces, right, what is the breakup? How much is for the Navy? As you said, majority is the Navy, approximately?
Yeah, majority. I don't have the breakup, honestly, at this point in time. But if you see, they had the next generation fast petrol vessels which were announced. Next gen offshore petrol vessels were announced. So these, by the sheer fact that they are very, very costly in terms of the overall outlay, it is a majority share which has gone to the naval segment at this point in time.
And, there are, of course, PSUs, right? Like there's
yes,
Mazgaon and Garden Reach, and there's others as well. So these are, would you say, the biggest beneficiaries from what was announced yesterday in terms of being bidding for these projects?
My understanding would be that, exactly.
Hi, Mr. Kabra. Good morning. I'm just looking at a couple of notes, and they suggest that the air defense fire control radars, that's a spot where you have exposure and you could potentially be a beneficiary. And that's part of the approval list. Could you tell us what is the total quantum, and normally how much of it could you garner?
I don't know the quantum, but see, radars, the basic components are TR modules, right? And we make the basic TR modules for all, and they are the building blocks of all radar systems. So to that extent, they may be sourcing, but as an overall project implementation agency, that doesn't come to us. That's how we look at it,
So you're not making the end product, you're making, an intermediate.
As a component, subsystems. As far as this particular fire control radar is concerned, air defense fire control radar is concerned, we are not the project managers or the systems integrators for that.
I'm sorry, I'm being a little unfair asking you about other companies, but I mean, you can since you have a sort of overall idea of what's happening in the industry, would HAL be a big beneficiary of what was announced yesterday?
I don't think so. I don't think HAL is the entity which has the contract for this, but I may be famously wrong out here, honestly.
Okay. So there are shipbuilders, the Navy guys, who are, of course, a clear sort of winner out of all of what was announced yesterday. Any other segments, any other which you think will benefit incrementally?
See, this industry, the way I see it is, this order is a continuation of the self-sufficiency story which is being built around, or which has been built around in the defense space, right? So the way we are seeing it is, this is an industry which has now come, is just coming into its own at this point in time, right? So the order book continuation which happens gives you a very strong sense of the momentum which will be maintained over a period of time, over years actually, and the direction in which the government has very clearly said that it has to be self-sufficient. If I'm not wrong, I believe almost, except for one or two, all the vehicles, naval vessels which are being built are actually indigenous.
Right.
And that is a direction which has been set, which speaks really well for an industry which is beginning to take shape out of nowhere. See, at the end of it, your play on GDP, 3.5% of the GDP is defense, right? It is as core an infrastructure as anything can be, and a lot of it used to be procured. But if you see the order book, which was the orders which were released yesterday, 99% are Buy Indian and IDDMs. Right?
Absolutely.
And I think you have to give a huge round of applause to the government for its clarity out here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Mr. Kabra, I think the market has given a thumping, resounding round of applause by way of sort of bidding up the stock prices because of the opportunity, right? Just finally, so while in this round you're saying that maybe there's no direct benefit for you or sort of the kind of projects and the equipment that you execute. Going forward, just tell us the visibility. That the last number that we have, that your order book as of June was, I think, 2,365 crores. Your target is revenues of about 1,000 to 1,100 crores this year. So does this factor in a lot of additional orders that may come up? Or this 1,100 crores will happen only by executing this current order book?
This is only by executing the current order book. The way it works is the order book to billing is about 2.5, 2 to 3 years, if I may say, typical conversion. So these are ongoing orders which are there, and you are now expecting some really large order books, just like you're seeing it on the naval side. You will actually have a lot of upgrades happening on the planes which we have, right? So you have the new planes, LCAs, which are being built, as well as MiG-29s and other programs which have been put in place. You have QR SAMs which are going to be coming in, So, this is a very, very significant movement, I would say, for the defense sector as it continues to take a shape of its own.
Okay, all right. No, very well put. By Indians for India, and it's a big one, what was approved yesterday. But I think also important insights for viewers who are watching from a stock perspective. It's largely focused on shipbuilders. So I think, that's coming in from an industry veteran. And Mr. Kabra telling us that he doesn't think that HAL would be a big beneficiary on the back of what was announced yesterday, the projects which have been put together yesterday. So it's largely sort of on the shipping and naval side, vessels, etc., which have come in. Mr. Kabra, it's a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us, taking our call and explaining all of that for us. We'll take a quick commercial break here. There's, of course, 13 minutes to go for the pre-open session. We'll be back. Shilpa Raut and Sudarshan Sukhani will be with us with some technical trading ideas. Stay tuned.